late April and we have mosquitoes already, but we're making amazing progress so far today. We're breaking ground on the garden. Eric is working on scraping up some of the topsoil until he gets down to the gravel layer. We marked out the perimeter yesterday, and something I am working on is a little bit unplanned, but we are kind of thinning. I don't know if it's thinning out, we're just trimming up the trees, so the dead branches or the lower branches, and we're doing this for a few different reasons. One, it's just good to kind of maintain your property and get rid of some of this down wood, but also we have had fox issues. So last summer we had a fox issue, and just about 2 weeks ago, we noticed that there was 2 foxes coming around the chicken coop. I'm pretty sure they're checking each other out like it's their breeding season and they're not truly interested in the chickens, but I'm sure they would eat them given the opportunity, and we like to free range. So the reason we're limiting them up is because we can see a lot better into the forest now, and the foxes usually take advantage of the fact that they can kind of come in and sneak in without the chickens seeing them. Same with the grass. They kind of sneak in the grass and the chickens don't really know what's going on. It's probably hard to tell, but it's already a pretty big difference right behind me. This is what we did yesterday. Cleaned up the brush, still a little bit more to go, and then I've got to do that side over there. I've got to get to this tree. I'm basically going to this snow patch where things kind of open up naturally and we can see really well. But this all has to be done over here.
Oh, that's nothing. That's nothing.
Yeah, I think they ran me too. They're not even, it's the funniest thing, they're not biting me in the back horse.
They're actually biting through my pants.
Yeah.
Through my sweatshirt. Through my gloves.
Look at your shoulder. Get that shoulder, man.
Watch how many you can kill. Look at that. There's like 4 in one swat. It's insane. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's actually pretty good soil to sift, though.
Oh, no, it's great soil to use. It's just, where do you put it in the meantime?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're worse over there by that pile for some reason. It's like the grass. I mean, it's just...
I think they bred over there last year.
But they're super slow. Like, you can just grab them and... Well, it's late April, and going into May is supposed to be like the best time up here in Alaska because the sun's out, the snow's gone, you have the long daylight hours, and there's like barely any mosquitoes. But for about a week and a half now, which is in April, I don't know what is going on. This is some of the worst mosquitoes I have seen, and we're doing a pretty good job out here. It's a little early in the season, so there's a little bit of mud, and I'm getting the top layer of like the native plants, the grass, and the soil off, and we're scraping down to the gravel. I have a little hole over here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. It's a little easier to see. And the reason we're doing this right now is we're going to put the garden here, and these plants will kind of just grow back and they will take over the garden. So we're getting rid of them. And I dug this hole to see how frozen our ground was. It's still a little frozen deeper down, but you can see right here from there down is all gravel, and our gravel here looks like that. It's like a mix of like sand, small rocks. Sometimes we have big rocks about that big, but this all right here up, I don't know what that is, maybe 6 or 8 inches. That's the soil we have here. So it's not much, and we've been living here for a little over a year now. We've had some experience with the land, and I gotta tell you, we absolutely love it. At our old place, we're always trucking gravel in. This place has an insane amount of it just below the soil. Already, with just a couple hours of work, we're building up a huge pile of this dirt. So I'm gonna have to find somewhere to put the rest of it because we've got a lot more work to do. Not bad for about 2.5 hours worth of work. We've got this massive pile of dirt behind us, and I think we've got like 2, 3, 6 of these around the property. So we're gonna try to take care of a couple of those a little bit later on. And I've got about half of it scraped down. It's turning out really good. We just hit 200 hours in the Branson, or 202. So I gotta look in the manual, see if there's any maintenance I gotta do on her anytime soon. And the next thing we're gonna do is move the greenhouse. So it's in pieces and it's spread out right where I need to scrape. So we're gonna try to move it somewhere so it's out of the way and we don't have to worry about it again. And then I think we're gonna stop scraping for tonight and we're gonna start picking up some of the brush. Arielle's got quite the collection back there.
Easy peasy, huh?
It's probably the 5th time we've dumped it. We haven't had to charge the battery. It's still really powerful, so.
Day 2, we have a massive amount of native soil over there that Eric has collected, which is pretty cool. He's about 3/4 of the way done with the garden, so he will have finished that in just 2 days, which is neat. And I put these little totes in front of our plants because Eric's concerned that the chickens will get in there. I think that they kind of are more interested in the dirt and the bugs, but if they were to get in there, that'd be pretty disastrous, so it's probably a good idea. And we've had to open up the plastic for over a week now because it just gets way too hot in there and it will cook the plants. We are starting off to a very hot spring so far.
Looks like the chickens are enjoying the summertime out here too, and we have been working a lot this morning. The Branson, can't say enough good things about that tractor. It's been awesome, and this whole area is about 105 or 110 feet by 80 feet. And then I went a little further than that because we want a little bit of room outside when we're putting the fencing in. I did notice something kind of interesting this morning when I was scraping where the high tunnel was sitting. The ground was almost completely frozen there still. So just having those pallets there and the metal, and then also the spot where our rolls of metal fencing was, that was frozen too. So it's still very cold. We're gonna be kind of switching over to hauling more brush with the dump trailer. And we found a place, there's different ones throughout Alaska where the forestry department will set up these sites where you can come dump your brush, and they do that to help prevent wildfires that are started by people burning brush on their property. I personally don't really enjoy burning brush. It's always kind of nerve-wracking. You got to be there maintaining the fire. You got to have your hose, and I don't want to be responsible for a wildfire. And this actually works out really well for us because we're going to load it in the dump trailer anyways. Instead of dumping it here and burning it, we just drive and we dump it. So it's working out pretty good. It doesn't cost anything. The dump trailer that we picked up over the winter, we have been using this thing like non-stop. Brush, compost, dirt, you name it. We've been hauling it, and we put the sides on it. We could fit, if we go up to here, it's like 4 to 5 yards of material. And then I also made a modification on the tractor. I did it a couple weeks ago. It cost me $24 to buy a drill bit that big, but I put a hitch for like a trailer hitch in there, and you can just screw it on and screw it off, and then you just bring the forks in here, you grab the trailer, any trailer you want, and you can move it around. It's super easy to steer it, back it in places. It beats pulling your truck up and you know, lining it up and hooking it up and all that. So we're flying, we're getting pretty efficient out here, and our pile of dirt is growing. This is pretty much like the last section we have to do, maybe like an hour's worth of work to get all this topsoil off of here. We have one more big stump that I gotta rip up with the backhoe, and then we've got like a bunch of stumps and brush and stuff in there, and we're gonna try to load that up first with the tractor into the dump trailer. Let's get it.
Okay, can I film my chickens real quick?
Solid.
I'm laughing at the mosquitoes.
Huh?
I'm laughing at the mosquitoes on your head.
What?
The mosquitoes on your head.
Yeah, I gotta put my net back on. Just past 5 a.m. we're heading to Fairbanks, and we can't seem to drink enough coffee. Kind of hard to wake up this morning. We've seen 10 moose so far, a few grouse, and we're heading on a supply run. We're going to pick up a lot of things, but we are going to be getting some metal for the garden, some projects out there, and hopefully picking up some manure on the way home. Oh my gosh, it's hot. Yeah, I put them all at an angle, and I run a strap. I was thinking I was going to stand these up on their sides. These things are huge. Funny looking load. Look, we got to ride home with this. Hopefully that's gonna hold.
Yeah,
I'll put some smell. Try to bend it over a little or something. Good to know.
Well, we made it back from Fairbanks with our load, and that was a really good example of what the dump trailer can do. A little bit messy for sure. We don't typically do that, but we have used it a lot for supply runs, like materials for the Quonset hut, and it works so well with the forks that we can just get in there and get our materials out. It's obviously very useful for moving compost and manure. That's what we have behind us is a mountain of, we've got some aged cow manure. We have horse manure, that's a little fresher, and then we have actually some spent barley that we got. It's in the middle, tucked in there, and a little bit of wood shavings. We're not able to really source the spent barley up here, but we are able to get a lot of manure, which is awesome because we need a lot. This garden is significantly bigger than our previous garden, and that just means that it's gonna take us a lot longer, and we need a lot of compost or amendments for it. This is a shovel full of some of the horse manure, a little fresher, you can tell it hasn't really broken down yet, and then some of the aged cow or steer manure, which is like beautiful. That's what you think of when you think of compost or aged manure. It's absolutely gorgeous. And if you give this enough time, it will eventually to look like that. We're super grateful for this. It is basically what we use to get our garden to grow so successfully. So yeah, I'm just really excited that we were able to find some new sources up at our new place. If you're unfamiliar with composting, this is all pretty much green material. There is technically the shavings or any sort of straw would be considered brown material. So we use a lot of nitrogen in our rows, or what we're going to be doing. The plan for today is to relocate this pile utilizing the dump trailer and the tractor into the garden so Eric can kind of mix it up in the future and we can have more of a blended array for the garden. We're utilizing this opportunity to collect all the, basically get all the manure that we have collected since last fall or last summer into that pile that Eric's working. The coop needed to be cleaned out. I know I've said this before, but I love the vinyl flooring. We call it linoleum, but it's vinyl. Someone told us about that a long time ago, and I have no regrets putting that in. It's amazing to clean. I have had to clean this coop a little more than I anticipated, probably just because of the amount of chickens that we have. The only thing I would do differently, if you're putting this down, is I would make sure to do a lot of that glue and roll the actual vinyl out so it sticks where we have some like little ripples. It's not a big deal, but aesthetically, you know, there's a little bubbling going on since we didn't do the whole thing. And I would have run this up the walls. That's pretty smart. Don't know why we didn't do that. So you can kind of see how things build up. It would have been smart to run it at least like a foot up, but we didn't, and I'm glad that we at least have it on the ground. Something else that Eric moved into that pile was our own compost from the winter, and it just has an enormous amount of like food and things like that that we generate, scraps, and we do put meat in there or like carcasses. We have never had an issue with bears. It's just where we lived and where we've lived in the past, they're not an issue. I'm sure they would be in some areas of Alaska. That's why I don't hang out in the chicken coop, so we're gonna head back outside.
Well, there it is. That's about 20 to 25 yards of compost, all mixed up and pretty much ready to go. And the dump trailer, let's see, it took us 7 loads of up and down, and that was on just the one battery. I didn't have to charge it, and it's still got some juice left in her, so I was pretty impressed with that. And this is just the compost part of the soil, so we got to mix in some dirt. And over there we have a huge pile of dirt. It's, how many yards do you think that is? 100 yards?
I don't know, I'd say
60?
80.
Okay, 50 to 100 yards. It's gotta be somewhere in there. It's a lot. The problem with that soil is we just scraped it off the top. It's got grass, bushes, moss, rocks, different things like that. So we're gonna try to screen it or sift it, and then we'll be able to mix it with our compost and we will have our garden soil. So let's go build our soil sifter. Put it in on the top, I got you. I'll stick the button on. You grabbed a 10-footer. That's okay.
I'm sorry.
Use those ones later.
Yeah.
Coming in. Let's go. 53 inches. Well, there it is. That's our soil screen, and we built it out of the metal we picked up the other day. So the steel on there, or the angle iron, is 2x2 angle iron, 1/4 inch thick. This thing is extremely heavy duty and heavy. It is going to be moved with the tractor. And then they had this really nice metal there, and I think they sell it for like laying concrete if you need some really thick like welded wire mesh. And this is 4-gauge, 4-inch squares. And let me show you kind of how it's going to work. You're going to come behind with the tractor, you're going to grab that soil with like the roots and stuff like that in it, and you're going to dump it over the top of this, and it's going to roll down, and the stuff that's small enough to fall through is going to fall through right here, and then you'll be able to grab it. We're going to leave it with the 4-inch squares right now. If we feel like it's letting like too much material through that we don't want, we can take the second half of the sheet of this 4-inch square metal and we can layer it on there, and we can get like 4x2 squares, so a little smaller squares. We're gonna test it out and see how it works. I am gonna weld something on here. I think I'm gonna bring the tractor in and I'm gonna line it up and figure out how we're gonna lift this thing. So when we're gonna be using this, we're gonna have the bucket on the tractor. We're not gonna have the forks on, so I'd like to be able to move this with the bucket. Thinking maybe put like some angle iron coming down or something to kind of hook on the bucket. So we'll see what we can do, and we'll see you out there.
That worked way better than I even thought.
Let's check it out. Let's see what we're left with.
No, it worked way
Look,
good.
I got a little root, and that's just this thing. Yeah, it's like really.
Like no
Look at that.
plants,
That's like
topsoil.
that's like dirt right there. That looks good. I mean, look, it's letting little tiny things through, but I think I'm cool with the 4-inch squares. This is what it's not letting through. Huge rocks. Big big pieces, right? Well, this is great, guys. We spent a lot of energy, time, and some money building that thing, and it worked, I think, a little better than we expected. We actually have like some nice fluffy topsoil that we're gonna mix in with our compost now, and it looks like I have a few days worth of work for me. I don't know how much we'll do. We got a huge pile over there, but we need a lot of soil for this garden, and it's coming together out here. It's looking good. We put 15 hours on the tractor so far with all of this out here, which I don't think is too bad at all. And we're getting hungry. I'm gonna dump this last little pile and we're heading inside for dinner. We're making nachos. Oh yeah, she still works. Might look like we're eating a grouse or something, but this is actually one of our chickens that we took down yesterday. We're trying to thin out the flock a little because we got some more on the way, and it's pretty delicious. So I spatchcocked this one, so I took the backbone off, kind of spread it, and I was able to rub it with like some butter, garlic, some seasonings. These always turn out really good when we do it that way. So we're putting chicken on the nachos. Okay. Man, this mosquito's getting me.
Where is he?
He's just buzzing me.
Got quite the works tonight for our nachos. We're pretty excited that we can now make our own topsoil, and we are even more thrilled that we are going to be gardening again. We've been kind of desperate for vegetables this last year, sourcing a lot of things from the grocery store, as you can tell right here. But some of this is our own salsa, and I was able to get a teeny tiny bit of some cilantro. We soaked some beans last night, and we're going to get these nachos in the oven.
We're gonna do multiple layers here on this bad boy. 2 layers, yeah. Some chicken. Okay, now hit it with some corn, maybe.
Corn and olives. And maybe cheese on top?
This is like an oversized spoon.
That corn is extremely good. It makes me realize how much I love corn.
Yeah, corn's really good.
More chips?
Chips, yeah.
So awesome.
Yeah.
We never have it till next year.
Oh my gosh, this has like all the toppings. Oh my gosh. There. Get a little bit of everything on there. Look at that. Oh my god. Pepper?
I actually don't really like, I'm not a sucker for baby animals. You know that, like baby puppies and kittens, but for baby fluffy chickens.
Look at that.
Oh wow, that's good. Whoa! Whoa!
We're eating nachos and the mosquitoes are eating us.
Babies out! Let's pull the babies out! Babies! Where the heck are they? I feel you under there, little baby. Here, you need to take a break, Mom.
Scared. Gotta teach them young that we're friendly. What are you doing? Oh, look at him. It's my aunt. See if you can make it back.
Oh yeah, he runs back.
Like this? These little spruces right here, you can still run straight.
What's
Got it up. This is going to be probably the coolest run we have put up for the chickens. This one comes off the high tunnel, and then it's like a lot of forest land. There's a lot of ants and bugs out here. They can scratch things up. We're going to go put in the electrical fence charger, the solar panel, the battery, get it hooked up, and the girls are coming out. It's really tight. That's it. Oh gosh, it almost got me.
She's lying.
It works.
It's on?
No, it's off.
We shouldn't have it on? Okay, we'll leave it off for now. Let's see if they want to come out for the day. These are little stones off. That's it. I think that the chickens definitely approve of their run. Like Eric said, I think it's going to be a really good future area that will probably just string the fence back up every spring. I just kind of realized that their tunnel that we built them in the fall is going to be extremely useful. We have never had a run like that, a covered run for the summer months. So I was just thinking like their food can go in there. We don't have to worry about it getting rained on. Obviously, if we have baby chicks, that's kind of a cool area for them to hang out. They have shade in there, and you probably can tell that we have baby chicks. So it's kind of hard not to hatch out baby chicks when you have broody moms and lots of fertile eggs. We hatched a few out. We have a few more on the way. Things are looking really good around here. We're getting a lot of work done. There's still a lot more to do. So we're gonna pick back up probably with the garden next time we see you.